Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review, where I'm going to let you know what happened on The Equalizer on CBS, Season 5, Episode 17. Now, y'all, I didn't know it came out this week. Now, listen. The only reason why I'm this late with this review, child, I saw and read up on the last final episodes about the spinoff. I've been talking about that the last couple of reviews, and they said, they meaning what I'm reading, reputable articles on the World Wide Web internet, telling me they will be back on May 4th. Child, that's the doggone finale. It didn't say nothing about coming back April, whatever that day, 27th, whatever day they had a day that was. So y'all listen, if y'all ain't watched the show, I'm about to let you know what happened. But if you did, chime in and let me know what you think about the show and how I did with my review. Okay, so listen. This episode was good too, because like I said, they winding down, what's going on in these internet streets is they decided not to continue with the spinoff, and they're still waiting to see if they're going to be renewed for season 6. Hopefully, yes. This is one of the greatest shows on this network. So, with all that being said, here we go. So listen, this episode, Detective Dante and his brother get to work together. Yes, so they're, building their relationship, kind of, sort of, not really, but, at least they're not beefing like there was before. So, how it always starts off. If you don't know, I'll let you know. The premise of the show is how Robin is contacted through the so-called dark web about trying to help her, help them with a family member, close friend, something going on that shouldn't be. And Popo can't really help. They backed up like gravy. So, they need some vigilanteism. Okay. And that's where Robin comes in. So this time, the premise of, we see how it's going to start. And there's these cops coming from the donut shop or whatever, and they're about to get into their squad car when they hear a gunshot. So they call it in, run across the street, go to the parking structure, go to the second floor, and find a man, hey, put your hands up. No. I saw the guy running. I saw you went that way. He went that way. So they didn't believe him. So one cop has him pinned down on top of somebody's hood while the other cop go investigate. Sees the guy bleeding out, pretty much DOA. And they're just, looking at him and like, okay, we think we got our suspect. How do you know they got the suspect? He told them to go find that he saw the man running with the gun. Anywho, so that's the top part of the show. So now we know somebody got shot up all up and through the parking lot, child, and they may have a suspect on their hands. Child, I guess. Next, we see Robin and Detective Dante on the phone making plans, and they just making all kind of innuendo about what they gonna do to each other. Now it's hot and heavy. Now they ain't got nothing stopping. Ain't no stopping us now. We about to, yeah, they about to, but it's prom. So Detective Dante is waiting it out. It's been about 5 years now, so they finally make it official. I think they Instagram official by now. And like I said, they talking all kind of, innuendo, yeah, I can't wait to see you. Oh, really? What you can't wait for? Well, what I do? No, I don't. Well, you about to find out. Girl, okay. Woo. Anywho, so he letting her know, well, guess what? I'm on the wait list for this cabin down to the Pocono. Where they be poking. Ain't that nothing? Anywho, of all places, the Pocono, let me poking. Yeah, okay. So she's like, oh, bet. He's like, word. I'm off the wait list. They called me. Let's go. She's like, okay, cool. My bag is already packed. She's like, listen, you might as well get your rest because Big Mama's ready. Hey, yeah, baby. I've been waiting all day and all night. Hey, yes. I love when grown folks be groaning. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know, now you know. This grown folks conversation over here. Ain't no kids supposed to be around. So if you got kids, grandkids, great-grandkids, nieces, nephews, whatever, if you babysitting, they shouldn't even be listening because ain't nothing over here for cheering. Now, even though her daughter on the show is a teenager, we don't. It's all about grown folk, and of course, it's it's made for it's fiction. But anywho, like I said, if it's kids around, I be cussing, child. That's what what's gonna come out my mouth, all kind of things. You don't want them taking it back to the schoolhouse. You don't want them taking it back to the church house. You want your kids to be pure. So, like I said, ain't no cheering. Ray love the kids. Don't get me wrong. Ray love the kids. But this is grown folks conversation. So just make sure ain't no kids around. Like I said. So they making plans, they can't wait to get it on, like Marvin Gaye said, child. I know that's right. All that lust and heat going on between them, child. All right. So they're making plans for the cabin. It's a bed is set. And then she's, also looking at the mail that came in and it got Dee's name on it from UCLA. So then Dee come down the stairs. No, Dee and Ivy come in the house. She hang out with Detective Dante. Dee got her hair did because it's the day of the prom. And, looking all cute, yeah. So then Robin gives Dee the mail. And yes, she got into UCLA, and then she starts to have this worried look on her face. We all know what that means, child. She's thinking about her man. Oh my God. Anywho, girl, you are 2 years old. Anyway, so now we see Detective Dante at work. His brother shows up, and then Detective Dante is trying to score away some paperwork with his boss. And the boss said, oh, attorney, whatever, so-and-so. Oh, you here bugging me too, huh? And then she finds out that they're brothers. She's like, well, ain't that a blunt? And walk off. Now she got two pains in her side. Her employee and some attorney that chaps her hide every now and again. So child, she did her smirk, rolled her eyes, and walked up to her office, child, with her dreadlocks looking cute. Anyway, what else going on, child? Oh, so the brother come over, right? Brother let him know, listen, my client, he got hemmed up on some possible murder charge on, he didn't do it. He called me, but now I can't find him. Detective Dante was like, oh, so I thought you was coming over here for something else. The brother was like, what you guys come over here for? He's like, never mind. So tell me more about your client. So the brother is letting him know, listen, whoop, 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 bam, 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 now I can't find him. And, I'm worried because, he's my client, he's going up and up, and I've vetted him out real good. I ain't never had no issues. So now all of a sudden it's an issue now. Child. So who Detective Dante get mixed in with all this. Of course, Harry. And Harry's starting to check him out and everything. And Harry finds out that it's some mess going on. So his client is, of course, the one that was arrested in the parking garage. And again, like I said, the client's MIA. Harry is on the case, and Harry finds some pretty much the same thing that the brother said, that for, he's supposed to be connected to X, Y, and Z, but all of a sudden you can't find him no more. So that always tells Popo that something ain't on the up and up. And, pretty much that's what Detective Dante told the brother before he contacted Harry. And it was confirmed. And so now the brother's looking like, dang, he got me. He swindled me. So next we see Dee. She calls Mel about getting into UCLA, but she's all concerned about her man, like I thought. And Mel was like, listen, don't be concerned with him. It is, you ain't got to make a decision now. Girl, bye. Yes, she do. She going to UCLA, man. What you talking about? And, not to, get all pennies in a bunch, but do let him know so that both y'all can worry together. You don't want to hold nothing back from him, because, us grown folk know how that's going to be when young folk feel like you've lied to them or made them feel good when they, when you try to lower the blow on, kids can be. Anywho, let's see if Dee takes her advice. Next we see Detective Dante and brother visit the jail that the client was in. Of course, the client made bail. However, they're looking at the security photo footages, and they see that the client is talking to some dude in jail. They're like, why are he talking to homeboy? Why would he be talking to somebody in jail? So that tells me that he already knew somebody was in there. Perhaps he was trying to get in there so they can, have a conversation. Mm-hmm. So they just find a whole lot more about this so-called client. His name is Cromwell. Yeah. The client to the brother Cromwell. So Harry finds proof of the murder that Cromwell did, and he sends it to Detective Dante on his phone. Detective Dante and the brother view the video. The brother's looking more like, dang, he did me dirty. Then Harry also finds out he's a hitman. Child, dang, Harry. And they're like, what? He doing what? So yeah, so that's why all of his info was wiped clean. He even got a facelift, child, cheekbones, fillers, pulled back tight. Girl, he don't look nothing like the so-called picture. So anywho, so yeah, he Harry finds all kinds of stuff about him. So then they said, well, maybe whoever he was talking to in jail, they can find him, and they can kind of, hone down on where Cromwell is. So Harry finds the guy they were talking to. His name is Sam, I think, Scott. So they're trying to find out where Scott at, and Harry is just doing his thing. At the same time, Harry invited Kaos over because Kaos is supposed to be getting out, not always in the computer. And if you don't remember, Kaos was the one, what was that, before the break when they went, was it episode 3 or 4? Maybe 5, where Kaos was the other online hacker dude who was in trouble, who needed help. And he's the one who reached out for help. Harry found it. And with all the miraculous and deeds that Robin and her crew does, that's how they met Kaos. Kaos is another hacker type dude, like I said, that Harry befriended after they rescued him from whoever they rescued him from. I forgot who the people were. However, they formed a friendship, a bond, and he's trying to get Kaos out of the house so that he's not always just in front of a computer. So at that point is when, after Harry is deep involved in this case with Detective Dante's brother, the attorney, and Detective Dante, Kaos came over to spend some time with Harry. So Harry's like, well, I'm sorry, it's not a good time right now, but at the same time, why don't you do this, that, and the third, And so Kaos was like, well, listen, what you got going on? Maybe I can help. Come to find out, Harry could use some help. So then Chaos gets involved at the same time. They're still spending time with each other at least, but he's still in front of the computer. But he gonna be in front of the computer because he brought the computer with him. So there it is right there. Next we see Dee getting ready for a prom, looking all cute. It was a really cute, what kind of purple that was? Pale fuchsia / light purple, like the marker purple. You know how the purple markers aren't really deep purple, they're more on the lighter side. Not lilac, but you know what I'm saying. Anywho, she looked really pretty, really cute. And Aunt Vi and Robin are there. And Aunt Vi gives loans Dee this necklace that's been in the family for generations. And Dee recognized it, and they're all sentimental and everything. I'm like, where is her daddy? I'm a little upset that the daddy wasn't included in this episode. Like, what happened? Did they max out the budget that the daddy couldn't show up? I'm like, is he mad that she didn't get with him and she with Dante? I need some closure with the daddy because he was so much involved with college and this, that, and the third. Was he only around just to get back with Robin? Is that what they're trying to let us know? This don't seem like something the daddy would do. But then again, child, it's a show. But anywho, I would have loved to see the daddy in last episode 16. Of course, this episode going to prom, graduation stuff. She got her acceptance letter. I'm like, he was pushing for Ivy League. Aunt Vi was pushing for HBCU. Robin was like, do what make you happy. So, she got into UCLA. Where the daddy at? What's his name? Moses or something? Anywho. So, what happened? Oh, so then Robin gets a call. And Robin was like, I'm not Dee's primary today. And Dee was like, listen, you was here for the reveal. Go ahead and go to work. It's all good. So Robin was like, well, listen, I'm going to still be there for you and Cam. So she went ahead and took the call, met up with them. They giving her all the info over the phone. They meet up at the parking garage. They meaning Robin, Detective Dante, and the brother. Now, Detective Dante prefaced the brother, talking about, listen, she coming, but you ain't seen her because she ain't supposed to be seen. So you get it? He's like, yeah, I got it. So then they all meet up at the parking garage, and Robin was like, well, there's a homeless guy. Maybe he saw something. Greased the homeless guy's palms, gave them some intel. Hopefully that'll work on the dude that they're trying to find. I think it's Scott that they're trying to find at this point. So, well, both of them actually, Cromwell and because they're trying to find if somebody saw what happened, but they already had a video. But they're trying to figure out about who Cromwell took out in the parking garage. Apparently, he's the owner or the manager of sorts in charge of janitorial services, not just one, but more than one. So we got Cromwell, who's a hitman, the client of Detective Dante's brother, who took out the head janitor, the lead janitor, and he got cleaning services all over town. That's what we know. And also this dude named Scott that is involved, and they're trying to find Scott too. So the homeless man gives them a little intel. Over there in a trash can, you may find some. I don't know. He was looking for like his work bag situation. So apparently, they're trying to get to the work location or locations of the janitor because that's what that badge would do. It will let you in. Ain't that nothing? What else happened, child? My notes. You don't have to look at my notes now. You know what I'm saying? So they find Scott through the help of Harry. Scott was a dude that Cromwell was in jail talking to. And so Scott is, chugging along the streets of New York City. Harry finds the car, lets him know, where he is. And Mel was like, I can go find him. There's like, nah, just tell him. We don't want to interrupt because Scott may lead them to Cromwell. So then what else happened, child? So then Mel catches up with Scott. His car is already parked. She gets out, investigates the car, her gunshot. She's like, oh, I gotta go in. She's talking to Harry. Harry's like, no, wait for Robin and Detective Dante. She's like, I ain't got no time, I ain't got no time. So she goes in, investigates. Child, you know what happened, right? Shootout in the warehouse, child. Mel and Cromwell shooting out each other, and they fight. They get close to each other enough to have a little fisticuff going on. Then he gets away, knocks her down real good. He got away because he heard Robin calling out for Mel. So then Detective Dante saw him running. Detective Dante goes after Cromwell, and then Robin's helping Mel up. And so they all three of them talking, they're trying to make sure she okay. Cromwell got away, but then they see Scott on the floor bleeding out. So apparently they was arguing over something, right? So then they see some stuff on the table, child. TNT. I don't mean the actual cable network, child. They see some C4, whatever they call it, child, all scrollers. So they know that there's some, if he a hitman, most likely, he's trying to hit somebody with some explosives. And then the brother come up. Detective Dante tell him, I thought she told you stay your ass in the car. He's like, well, I heard gunshots. I wanted to help. He had his little gun out. Not little, but, trying to, all up in the air, like looking what's going on. Then he see the dead body. He get a little spooked. So he told you stay in the car. If you over here getting spooked over a death, he dead. He ain't gonna do nothing to you. Anyway, so they see all the bomb stuff being made, and Detective Dante is a little bit out of shape and lets them know, listen, I gotta call this in. So, you know what's going on. Don't say nothing about her, and you gotta go too. So this is something I'm working on that Popo know only I'm working on. So y'all gotta go by. So next we see time is of the essence, y'all. Time is of the essence, baby. And so now we're winding down. And they got Kaos on it. They trying to find out where they at. So then they find Cromwell trying to pretty much they find out who he's targeting with the bomb. Like I said, he's some international hitman dude. So, excuse me, guess what's happening today in NYC? I love this Cordy show. Some type of bomb, something international bomb smugglers convention that we trying to prevent convention. So they go to the convention. You can't make this up. This show is so cute. Anyway, so they're there and they're trying to find Cromwell. Of course, he probably, swooped up, not looking like himself. At the same time, Harry invents some tracking device for the type of TNT, because like they took pictures of it to send to him. He can figure out what it's trying to make or whatever. So he gives them some what do you call them things? Trackers, so that they can locate the bomb at that location to where that event is happening. So they're looking who's the guest list, trying to figure out who could be the target, and they kind of figure out who it could be from the names of folks. It's always somebody on the other side of somewhere in the Eastern Hemisphere who don't sound like nothing that they American. Anywho, so they're trying to find Cromwell. So then they got NYPD on it. NYPD sees Robin there. He was like, listen, she here, she helping. We'll talk about it later. NYP, his boss, she's like, yeah, we're going to talk about this later. So they're all in a room paying attention. Robin's trying to find Cromwell. They figure he going to have a detonator because he's the one who needs to be nearest to the actual bombs due to radio frequency and detection of one piece to like that the best connectivity with Bluetooth. You got to be closest to the actual place to where you're trying to connect to. So Mel and Detective Dante go look for the bomb. Of course, they find it, and they're showing Harry everything. He's trying to figure out how to disconnect wires, him and Kaos, and they're both looking at like, we only got a few more minutes left because it's supposed to start, and we already know the target is so-and-so from so-and-so country, and he gonna come up and speak at a certain time, and they always start on time. So let's go. We'll go about maybe 7-8 minutes. So Harry finds out the type of explosive and finds out how exactly to disconnect, but the wires aren't exactly the same on the inside after Mel takes off the faceplate. They're all black wires, so you can't detect just by looking at it the way Harry can look at it on his end, because he's telling them what to do over the phone. So Kaos is looking at it too. So Kaos cross-references what Mel showed them and kind of patched them together, like kind of stuck them on top of each other. He's tracing the wires according to Mel's picture versus what Harry has. So Kaos helped out by saying clip yada yada wire next to such and such wire, yada yada. So luckily, right when they started the actual event, that first speaker was supposed to is the actual target. And so it's supposed to reach the first 2 or 3 rows of the event. So Cromwell is maybe 6th or 7th row behind, and which is right outside of the wall to where Mel and Detective Dante are. And Robin catches him and sees him. She's like, okay, I got him. Eyes on the prize, eyes on the prize. And so they disconnected right before he hits kaboom. And he keep hitting like, what's going on? What's going on? He's thinking there should have been some type of commotion by now. And here come Robin after him, and then guess who he takes hostage? Detective Dante's boss child. Everybody running out and everything while Mel and Detective Dante's in there sweating and crying and carrying on. The thing got blowed up. And Robin is just like, hey, just let her go and we can work this out. He's like, no, you put your pistol down or she is DEAD. And he mean what he said because he a hitman. You know what I'm saying? So then they cut away. So then they cut away to D and her man. So remember when they were, she was getting ready for the prom. So here he come. He come over, get the corsage and everything. He accidentally breaks one of her spaghetti straps. So then Aunt Vi takes D upstairs and fixes it. Then he sees the letter from UCLA laying down on the table. And he gets a little upset. So then we see them on their way to prom, and he's, looking kind of bummed, and she's excited. And so they finally have the talk in the car. She was, didn't know how to address it with him. She wasn't hiding it. And she said, it just, he's like, we've been texting all day. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. So she was like, well, hell, like I said, I didn't know how to tell you. So he wasn't upset about the letter. He was more upset that she didn't tell him because he was excited for her. So of course he was concerned about what will happen to them because they're in love and they want to be together, all yada yada. And she was like, well, we can make it work long distance and yada yada. So, puppy love, child, puppy love. So they kind of work it out and everything. So that's cool. I'm so glad they worked it out. Oh. Now back to the event. The hitman Cromwell got Detective Dante's boss in a chokehold with the pistol to her temple. Robin got her sights on him. They trying to negotiate and work things out. So she finally, Robin, lays her pistol down and said, okay, you got it. You got it. Just let her go and you can get out of here free. Ain't nobody gonna chase you down. So then Robin distracts him. Like, first of all, how do you distract the hitman? They are the most stealth human beings on earth. I swear I love this corny show, but sometimes they can be real surreal. Anywho, so then he turned around and then she pulls something out of her back pocket and pops him, pretty much take him off the set, save the boss. And then the boss go over there, kick the gun away from him, checks his vitals. He DOA. And she's just, thank you. I owe you one. And Robin was like, well, listen, since you saying it, I need a ride down to my daughter's prom because she about to go be with her dude for the night. And you know how that can be. So I need to go see her and talk to her. So she didn't say that. Robin was like, well, yeah, I'm glad you said that because I need a favor too. So next we see Robin getting dropped off with sirens and carrying on down to the prom event, her and Mel. They go in and see that they're at the photo booth and looking all cute. And I kind of got a little sentimental. They played the sentimental music. Robin looking like she about to cry. Mel is like, oh, how sweet. And, they're having fun and everything. Ooh, prom. Prom was so fun. Did y'all go to prom? Girl, I had a teal dress. And this heifer had my dress on at the prom. Now, I had mine made. Oh, damn incident. Now, the one thing that I didn't get on my prom dress was some lace mesh that was kind of sewn in on the top. Mine was just straight satin. You know how, the typical satin, but it was teal and it was really cute. And yeah, so this girl had my dress. When I saw her on the dance floor, I looked like she got straight out of a movie. I never thought I would react that way, but I did. My date was like laughing, like, come on. Not laughing, at me, but just laughing because I'm looking at her like, no, she ain't got on my dress. And she looked at me and kept dancing. I'm like, anyway, yeah, y'all, this heifer had on my prom dress at the prom. I thought I was one of a kind. Anyway, but back to this show. Where I leave off at. Also, Robin is all misty eye and carrying on. Her and Mel watching Dee trying to be grown with her man at the prom, taking pictures and everything. So they send them off, and then they go on a merry way, child. So now we see Harry cleaning up and everything. He's like telling Mel, I still don't so Mel's back, of course, down to the bar with Harry. It's the next day or way hours of the night. And Harry is stumped as to exactly how did he find the connection, meaning Cromwell. How was that connection made between Cromwell and his target? So they're looking up all these different, photos and internet stuff and private whatever they found on the World Wide Web internet. And then Mel said, who's that guy always with homie? The one that was the target. So they find more pics, and guess who they see in the pic? Doggone Salazar. That's his name. I wrote down something. What was his name? Yeah, Salazar. Salazar. Remember Salazar in the last 5 or 6 episodes is the one Robin was trying to get also the task force that Detective Dante was on before leaving the task force to come back to NYPD Blue. That task force was also looking for this man. So you got 2 different groups of people. He got history with Robin, and pretty much Robin thwarted his whole business, which is why they had that hiatus and came back, and she was, kind of really, stunned and everything about what happened, because she was kind of working by herself because Mel was going through it with her PTSD situation. So yeah, Salazar. So they're putting 2 and 2 together, thinking that Salazar is around and involved. So next thing you know, they're at the cabin. Remember, Detective Dante told Robin, girl, I'm about to knock your boots off. Yeah, baby, it's grown folks time. Yeah, we got our guy, and they hugging up all, mushy outside when they get out the car. It's snowing. You got to make body heat to stay warm. I know that's right. So, guess who's watching from them? Watch them from a distance. I'm like, they don't see all them men on top of the hill looking at them. It's doggone Salazar, and he said, "Now's the perfect time to do what I need to do." What? That was the end, y'all. That was the very end of this doggone episode. I can't believe this. They ain't gonna never get to do it. Anyway, yeah, y'all, that was the end. The Equalizer. Yes, season 5, episode 17. Get with it, get with it. If you don't know, now you know. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Woo, the end is near, y'all. The end is near. All right, then, bye. Rain, rain, all day.